Welcome back to the Build a Nation Challenge. Imagine living and playing football here on the southernmost island in the Faroe Islands called Suduroy. Well, not that I would, but it is a stunning place we decided to make home for our adventure. So, winter is coming, and we need to plan our next steps. Maybe the best and most important thing is that we can get rid of unwanted players to unlock more of our wage budget.
You know what? You don't deserve our money.
Though it will take a couple of years to achieve this fully. Talking about wages, with us being in the Europa Conference League next season, or hopefully so, we should maybe look at increasing our limit to 6,000 wages as a maximum. In terms of what we need to find in new players, we need a new first-choice goalkeeper as Clausen will be leaving. Also, a new center back, preferably a starter with a half-decent left foot, as Abdul is leaving. A new backup fullback on the right-hand side, as Almeida has deteriorated significantly. Not quite sure what will happen in the midfield, but I only really think Finn Johnson is good enough to be starting. So that is probably the minimum we are looking at, but expect to see much more action in the transfers before the end of this window. Alright, the first of the bunch have been released, but more are to come. Noteworthy among them is Salmuder Besh, but we could not come to terms regarding playing time, and it's doubtful he would take a pay cut either. There we go. Another set of released players. Leivor Zachariasen, Jane Hansen, Christian Martin Jakobsen, Andreas Thompson, Thiago Almeida, Alexander Clausen, Feo Kruse, and Martin Johansson Muller.
You're fired, and definitely you're fired. Not you, buddy.
All of them are gone as of the 31st of December. We arrived in January, and we've got new players coming in. We are starting with a loan deal for Kristoffer Benevicius, a Swedish-Lithuanian player who is probably best as an inside forward. However, I couldn't get the Swedish club to agree to the deal unless he was played as a striker, so I guess we will use him up front. Obviously someone I expect will be starting, or at least heavily rotated. Next is Arnbjørn Svensson, and he is kind of an interesting and very versatile player. I'm not actually sure where he will end up playing, as he could be our new center back, defensive midfielder, or even central midfielder. He is on 300 wages, but I think he has qualities deserving of it. Elias Fagra. Since both our goalkeepers were released, we need to bring in at least two, and this is the first guy. At least Fagra is a better sweeper keeper, if nothing else, and he is also fairly cheap at £120. A new fullback in Nikolai Monk might be the best deal we've made. He is on a 4-year contract at £20, and I completely disagree with our assistant manager's assessment of his ability. I see him as good, or possibly even better, than Lucas Jessing. Oh yeah, just take a look at the comparison here. Now to the big one, Dragan Novak, an 18-year-old Croatian partner to Pastor, and of course, also taking up a foreigner spot. But boy, oh boy, is this youngster good. Again, we've got options with him as well, as he could easily play as a central midfielder, central defender, or even be retrained as a defensive midfielder. This is real quality, someone who could be good enough for Champions League football in a year or two. And the last of the lot so far, Tommy Vaiho, another goalkeeper. We might have issues with this, as I signed them both as first choice. Well, I guess they will have to fight it out. Tommy is the veteran and very, very good, but Fagra is probably the best fit for our tactical choice of a sweeper keeper. We will see who emerges as the true first choice later on. Solvi Egilson left on a free transfer. He played pretty well in our promotion season, but he does not have the quality we are looking for moving forward.
You've shown your quality, sir. The very highest.
We've got one more signing, likely the last one, unless someone important leaves us. Nicholas Cruz, a winger or striker, and I brought him in as a striker, more specifically as an impact substitute with his extreme speed. Patrick Kojberg has signed a new contract. You forgot about him, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here.
He finally agreed to negotiate, and we got him on a 4-year contract for 110 wages. Brilliant. While playing in our under-21 team, he only got better, and now he will be back to rival Polkarlsberg for the spot. The board finally allowed me to start ripping up some contracts. And we only had to pay £1,800 to get rid of 16 of our completely useless players. This means our under-21 team is now very empty. But that just means we've got room in both the budget and squad to actually go out and find some gems that we can either develop or send out on loan to help other clubs. Basically, this is the main way to build up the nation. Alright, I'm on a shopping spree for young talented players, and we already have 3 coming in. The idea is to bring in high-quality talent from Denmark, Sweden, Iceland, Finland, and Ukraine.
Oh, no, 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 no.
And not sign anyone from our own leagues, as taking talent away from our fellow Faroes is counterproductive. On the other hand, what we will do with these incoming players is loan them out to any Faroes clubs that could use them. Otherwise, we'll just build a really decent under-21 team. Some of these players might also become good enough to use ourselves. Actually, I'd say that is very likely to happen. Oh, look at that. We even got one more. Holy moly, guys. That is a lot of new players. We went from having one of the worst under-21 teams in the league to having the best. If some of them will become part of the first team, I will be sure to show them, and we do already have some noteworthy talent there. Someone like this guy Rodrigo, who is the only foreigner, is looking very promising. But yes, there was one player that went straight into the first team, Santeri Latinen. He is from Finland, and of course he is possibly our 4th best center back. But since he is determined and has a very strong left foot, he might very well be first choice in a year's time. You might be thinking, are we breaking the bank with all those young boys? The answer is no. We are not even close to our £6,000 limit yet. So, as it turns out, we got another youngster who I think will be part of the first team, Agustin Manenti. He is a foreigner and a defensive midfielder, or at least, that is what I think we will train him to be. He will be replacing Arvidsson in the main squad as the backup to Johnson. Spring comes early this season, as we have a Super Cup to play against Nes Soknar here on the 21st of February. We played all our friendlies, and maybe you have already noticed, but we got a new formation. 4-1-1-4 asymmetric. It is only a formation change, as the tactical is still the same. This should be an interesting one, and asymmetric systems have always been favorites of mine to use.
My favorite.
Here we are, a chance for silverware in the first match of the season. Nes Soknar are the favorites, but I fancy our chances. 28 minutes in, their player Milan Masab, completely unnecessarily, tackles Carlsberg from behind.
And the referee has gone to his pocket, it's red!
Get out of here, you piece of garbage! Corner kick, and I think maybe Novak got his hair on it, but it dropped down at the feet of Arnbjorn Svensson, who scored 1-0. Carlsberg got down the right wing and decided for the flat cross, and it found Hujbog at the back post after their defender made a silly deflection mistake. Our loan deal Benevicius also delivers an assist, as he finds last year's disappointment, Thompson, who might have a second coming. Damn, with a floaty cross toward the back post, and I guess Carlsberg doesn't care what side he is on. He scores these with ease. That is 4-0. New players coming in, but otherwise copy-paste of last goal, and I'm loving it. He is already on a 9 rating, but why not make it 10? An absolutely disgusting free kick goal by Carlsberg. We start the season how we ended the last one, standing at the podium with a cup win. While the red card was a massive factor, we were already the better team out there before that. Carlsberg player of the match, with his 10 rating, 2 goals, and 1 assist. In terms of the league, the media is predicting us 6th, with 34 in odds. Quite the improvement to last season's 201 in odds. As fate will have it, Nes Soknar is our first opponent in the league. And besides Pastor coming in, we play the same team again. Apparently they haven't learned, as Novak is finding the ball at the front post, and somehow drops it over their goalkeeper into the net. 1-0. Højbjerg won a penalty after 19 minutes, and Carlsberg is scoring his 3rd goal of the season from the spot. They really do not like Carlsberg, and I can't blame them, but could you please try to not injure one of my best players, you absolute jerk off! Late in the game, Knudsen is playing wing-back on the left and finds Novak with a cutback, who finds the back of the net. 3-0. Easy win against last season's winners, completely dominating the match, and long may it continue. Novak with 2 goals, getting the player of the match. Victor Pastor wanted to leave for a bigger club, and I'm not about to have unhappy players, so we will allow it, as we got plenty of decent central defender options. We also receive our first fee for a transfer, and potentially also 30% if he is sold again. But he is not leaving before the summer transfer. The deadline for transfers has closed. We did bring in a few more youngsters too before that. Without too many problems, we won the next 3 league matches, scoring another 9 goals and letting in 2. Next match is against B36, who is currently, a bit surprisingly, second in the league, only 2 points behind us. Gjesing and Carlsberg combining down the right, not to anyone's surprise anymore. A low cross finds our lone striker Benevicius, 1-0. On the other side of the pitch, fairly similar, though I do not think it was meant as a low cross, but Hujbjerg takes full advantage of a deflection. Gjesing once again the creator, and again, flat cross, or maybe even a pass, finding the same man. Easy piece, 3-0. Okay, first chance they get, and what a way to take it. That hurts, but a great shot nonetheless. Do we care? No, as we just scored another one 1 minute later. This time, Benevicius assisted Hummeland on the back post. Great pass forward by Knudsen finds Hudbjerg, who can easily pass it into the path of Kastrati to make it 5-1. They do manage to get one back, not that it matters in terms of winning the match, but it is not nice to let in 2 goals in the same game. I'm not surprised they won a header at the back post. Full time, 5-2. Overall, a good match, but we got a bit complacent in the second half. Benevicius player of the match with 9.4 rating, 2 goals and 1 assist. Right after, we had another big match where we managed to find a late goal to get a draw against Klaksvikar. I noticed we all of a sudden were £222,000 in the red and wondered how that happened. After further investigating, we got an expenditure in the other category of £388,000. While I do not know exactly what that is, my best educated guess is that it might be us teaching all of the new players to learn Faroese. I might have underestimated the cost of learning a language. We might want to stop doing that with everyone. We put pedal to the metal by crushing through 9 matches, winning all of them, putting us in pole position for the title with 37 points, as we sit 7 points ahead of second place B36. Lucas Gjesing, Patrick Hojberg, and Besijan Kastrati are having a laugh, topping the average ratings in the league. But everyone is doing well, really. I would not even say we have anyone being disappointing at the moment.
Happy as a hippo.
Maybe except for Tommy Viho and his only game played. Once again, we play B36, since they are not only in second place, they are also the only true threat to not winning the title. As Klaksvikar only got 23 points, and the rest of the bunch of other half-decent teams are on 20 points. Not a beauty of a goal, but we are starting best, with this mess inside their box, where Kastrati finds the ball at his feet. 1-0. First highlight of theirs, and apparently that is all it takes to completely make our defenders look outclassed. Well, it is what it is. You've got to be kidding me. They actually start the second half with their second highlight and score again.
Look, it wasn't even it's like not even a joke anymore, okay? Whatever.
It is not our day, it seems, as Johnson is giving away a penalty, though it didn't really look like one. Straight down the line, and Fagra is not moving from his spot. Brilliant. We are still in this game. 80th minute, Carlsberg pops up in the box area and slots it in. I was sure it was offside, but no. The referee on the sideline is keeping his flag down. 2-2, which is also how it ends. I guess we can be sort of happy with that, all things considered. Carlsberg bags the Player of the Match award with the late goal. Next match was also pretty important, as it was against Klaksvikar, who is third in the league. And we managed it in style, with a 5-1 result, and Kastrati taking a hat trick. See, I told you he would be an international. Hojbjerg got his first cap. Summer transfer window is open for business, and we do have a new player moving into the first team, Silas Olsen. He is going to be replacing Godfred, who is going to be thrown into the second team. He will of course play second fiddle to Novak, and is also a bit of a mercenary, so it might just be temporary. We pulled Austria Vienna out of the hat in the Conference League draw. That is not going to be an easy one at all.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
With Victor Pastor moving to Cordoba, I decided to bring in a completely new player to replace him. Mikkel Andresen, 16 years old, and Danish. He is very good at that age and will be getting his full wages of 375 when he turns 17. Transfer window closed again, and we got in a good amount of youngsters, along with those two shown earlier. I also decided to release some of the non-contracted players, as they would take up playtime for the youngsters in the B and under-21 squad. We got through half of the summer, playing quite a few friendlies, and the first semi-final leg in the cup, which we won 4-0, so the second one should be easy for us later in the season. And now to the important part of the season, but honestly also the unlucky part. Getting Vienna was extremely unlucky, and I do expect us to lose this over the 2 games we have to play them. But you never know, sometimes you can get lucky, but man for man, these guys are just on another level compared to our players. How about that? We start best, as Novak passes it into the space between their defenders, and Benevicius is fastest to it, and scores. Unfortunately, it didn't take them long to bring it back even, as our defenders got caught out of position in quite a big fashion. I do not think they deserved that one, but it is what it is, as we see another goal go behind Fagra. Second half, Novak finds some space in their box, takes aim, and fires an absolute rocket into the net. Fantastic. We are back, even again. We can't have anything nice. We go behind yet again questionable positioning by our defenders. 3-2 away from home in the first leg, not the end of the world. I'm actually quite more optimistic now than before the game that we might be able to do it in the second leg. Alright then, the second leg, and we are actually not playing at home, but in the national stadium, as ours is nowhere near big enough to meet the requirement, which just means more money for us. Anyhow, I do hope we can find a win here, and possibly even with 2 goals to avoid extra time. Football Manager has a way of making sure that the most stupid mistakes come at the most pivotal moments. Fagra is making us have to climb a mountain now.
Not a chance. Not this time. It never happened. It never happened. We made this one up. It's fiction.
Okay, I suppose I was way too optimistic. We need to score 3 goals now, and I do not see that happening. Full time, and we never had a highlight even though we had 4 shots on target.
Excuse me, what?
That is kind of crazy. Listen, this is not a massive loss. We got unlucky with the draw against one of the best teams in the pool, and it was only our first season in Europe. Here's the positive. Even losing a match in the qualifier, we received over £600,000. 5 wins and 1 draw later, we are still unbeaten in the league. Tommy Vaiho, our backup goalkeeper, left on a free. He was not a happy old man, as he was not given the playing time promised. Though our best goalkeeper youngsters are out on loan, Petter Fagerhage will do fine as the reserve for the rest of the season. Mostly due to injury to Cruz, I've already moved another youngster out. Mosgaard is a pretty big talent and was in the plans for next season, but he might see some action already now. B36 is a very big surprise this season. They are really doing well for themselves. They are only 8 points behind. I wish we could win the league today, but we will be missing 2 points if we win to secure it, but we are very close to our first title. Asidam, with a lucky cross to find Benevicius, who has been a real menace in front of goal this season. 1-0 up. Benevicius is here, there, and everywhere, always at the right spot at the right time to bag a goal. Very nice, full-time 2-0. Also a very dominating display. Now, all we need to secure the title is just 2 points. I haven't shown you any of our intake the last 2 seasons, for good reason. They were terrible. This is the first player that has been worth signing in 3 seasons. As it happens, Klaksvikar, in 3rd place, will be our next opponent. Let's see if we can win it today. Well, possibly not, as Klaksvikar is starting best. Really not sure what our defenders are doing in this situation. That pass should never be possible. 1 minute later, they get another. Okay. 82 minutes gone, and all of a sudden Kastrati popped up at the back post. He had a terrible game up until that moment. Well, that is interesting. 93 minutes in, Knudsen is finding Benevicius in front of goal. And this man does not miss that kind of chance to bring it back level on the score sheet. Well, I was wrong. 1 point turned out to be enough. How about that? B36 messed up big time in their match, so that is the reason for this happening. We still got 4 more games to play, and possibly a final in the cup, which honestly is the only thing that interests me now, as we can do a triple trophy this season. Also, our under-21 team can lift a trophy, as they secure the division title, and our second team won the first division, but of course can't gain promotion. Our unbeaten run came to an end in the next match against Vikingur as we lost 2-1 at home. Very disappointing.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Second leg in the cup semifinal ended 4-2, which made it 8-2 on aggregate. Onward to the final we go. And that happens to be against Klaksvíkar. Not an easy one, but hopefully we can do our treble. Exactly 1 minute played, and Jessing finds his 25th assist for the season as he floats it over to Carlsberg at the back post. Get in! 10 minutes later, Kastrati with his 22nd goal of the season makes it double trouble time for Klaksvíkar. Oh yeah, and Jessing again on the assist. He is close to making it a hat trick in assists, but instead wins us the penalty. Kastrati made it 23 from the spot. Easily player of the season for me. We did it! A treble trophy winning season is completed, with us finishing the league on 70 points, 9 clear of B36. Kastrati wins Player of the Year award. He also got the Golden Boot, though I believe it should be shared with Benevicius, who happens to be the young player of the season. Luka Jessing takes Defender of the Year award. Kastrati also got the Midfielder award, Benevicius the Forward award, and we of course completely dominate the Team of the Year, with 7 of our players in it. Unfortunately, we did not keep our 35th spot in the coefficient ranking, as we dropped down to 40th again. So there it is. Another season done and dusted, and a very successful one at that.
Please leave a key under the mat. I love y'all very much. Peace out.